You're not tired because your life is hard. You're tired because your mornings are slowly destroying your brain chemistry, and you don't even know it. Every morning, you hand over the most vulnerable 60 minutes of your day to an algorithm, then spend the rest wondering why you feel empty. This isn't about motivation. This isn't a wellness routine. This is neuroscience. 10 habits that chemically change how your brain operates before 9 a.m. and keep that change running all day. Pay attention. Habit 1. The 60-second wake-up reset. The moment your alarm goes off, cortisol spikes. That's biological. Your body's preparing for threats. The problem? You're not escaping a predator. You're surviving a Tuesday. And the first thing most people do, grab the phone, open Instagram, check email, tells your nervous system the threat is real. Every notification is a small alarm. Every headline is a signal. Danger is present. Your brain has no filter yet. It hasn't fully come online. It's in its most suggestible state of the day. So instead of handing that state to someone else, don't. 60 seconds, no screen, eyes open. Just breathe and register that you're alive and safe. This is called a transition pause. It measurably increases serotonin and drops cortisol before it can take hold. 1 minute of intentional stillness outperforms an hour of scrolling for emotional baseline. 60 seconds, your first act of psychological self-defense. Habit 2. Morning light exposure. Your circadian rhythm, the internal clock regulating your mood, energy, and hormones, resets every morning through one thing: light. Stanford neuroscientist Andrew Huberman has documented this extensively. Morning sunlight hitting your eyes signals your brain's master clock to release serotonin, suppress melatonin, and time your cortisol peak correctly. When that peak hits at the right moment, your energy is higher in the morning and drops naturally by evening. You sleep better, you wake up less destroyed. When it doesn't happen, your clock drifts. Mood becomes unpredictable. You feel wired at midnight and useless at noon. 2 minutes, near a window. Outside if possible. You don't need to stare at the sun. You just need photons. Think of it as charging your biological battery before you start draining it. Habit 3. Make your bed. This sounds trivial. That's exactly why most people miss the mechanism. Your brain runs on dopamine, and dopamine isn't reserved for big wins. It fires on completion. Every finished task, no matter how small, triggers a micro reward. A signal. We did something. Let's do more. This is success momentum, and it compounds fast. One made bed at 7 a.m. tells your brain, we operate with intention here. We finish what we start. That message echoes for hours, lowering internal friction on every task that follows. Navy SEAL training research found that small daily wins performed consistently build larger stress resilience over time. They didn't study productivity hacks, they studied survival, and they still landed on this. Habit 4. 10 deep breaths. Most people live in chronic low-grade fight or flight. Not full panic, just a constant, dull activation. Shoulders tight, jaw clenched, thoughts slightly racing. You stopped noticing it, it became normal. But your nervous system notices. And it costs you. Chronically elevated cortisol suppresses immune function, degrades memory, and over time physically shrinks the prefrontal cortex. The part of your brain responsible for rational decisions, emotional regulation, and impulse control. 10 deep breaths activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the brake system. It signals safety to your amygdala, lowers its alert level, and brings higher brain functions back online. 45 seconds. Heart rate slows. Stress hormones fall. Prefrontal activity increases. You become, in a measurable way, calmer and sharper before you've talked to a single person. Habit 5. Water before coffee. You wake up dehydrated every morning, without exception. 6 to 8 hours of breathing out moisture. Your brain, like approximately 75% water, is running low on the fluid it needs for neurotransmitter production and cognitive function. Most people's response? Immediately spike that dehydrated brain with caffeine, which is a diuretic, which pulls more water out. So now you're more dehydrated but stimulated. You feel awake, then crash harder, then need more coffee, then crash again. That's not energy. That's a loan you keep rolling over with interest. 1 glass of water first. It rehydrates brain tissue, flushes overnight metabolic waste, and smooths the caffeine curve. Longer effect, no hard crash. You're not removing coffee. You're making it work better. Habit 6. 1 minute of movement. No gym, no routine, no plan required. 60 seconds of your body moving intentionally. Stretch, shake your arms, 10 squats, roll your shoulders. It doesn't matter what, it matters that it happens. Movement triggers endorphin release, your brain's internal painkiller. It also increases BDNF, which drives neuroplasticity and emotional regulation. IT raises core temperature slightly, sharpening alertness. It activates proprioception, which research links directly to reduced anxiety. 1 minute does all of that, and here's what most people don't expect. The mood lift from morning movement doesn't stay in the morning. Studies consistently show higher emotional well-being in the afternoon and evening too. Your body carries your brain. When it moves, it signals to your nervous system, I am alive, able, and functioning. That signal travels all day. Habit 7. Write 1 intention. Not a to-do list. Not 10 goals. 1 sentence. Today, I'm going to respond instead of react. Today, I'm going to protect my focus. Today, I'm going to move through discomfort instead of avoiding it. This works through a principle called implementation intention, decades of psychological research behind it. When you specify how you want to operate, not just what you want to accomplish, your brain preloads a behavioral script. It primes neural pathways to recognize relevant moments and follow through automatically. Without an intention, your day runs on autopilot. Your mood is determined by whatever the world hands you first. With 1 clear sentence, you become the author of your day instead of a character in someone else's story. Write it down. The physical act of writing externalizes the intention and makes it psychologically binding in a way that thinking alone doesn't. Habit 8. Protect the first hour from negative input. Your brain is not equally vulnerable throughout the day. In the first hour after waking, you're still shifting from theta to alpha brainwave states. Your critical filter, the part that evaluates incoming information, hasn't fully activated. You are neurologically in an open and programmable state. What you consume in that state encodes more deeply. It sets your emotional tone, your cognitive framing, your stress threshold for everything that follows. News engineered to provoke outrage. Social media built for comparison. An email that creates urgency before you've decided what your own priorities are. All of it writes code in a brain that hasn't installed its firewall yet. The people who feel chronically overwhelmed and reactive, most of them start the day by handing their most programmable mental state to the most manipulative systems ever built. The world will still be there in an hour. Your emotional foundation will be significantly stronger. Habit 9. The 30-second gratitude scan. Not journaling, not a spiritual practice. 30 seconds. One thing that's actually good. A person. A moment. Something working. Even the physical fact that you woke up. Gratitude activates the ventromedial prefrontal cortex and increases dopamine through the mesolimbic reward pathway. In plain terms, your brain gets rewarded just for noticing something positive. Your brain is a prediction machine. It scans constantly for patterns. If you train it to scan for threats, which chronic stress, comparison culture, and modern media all do, it gets excellent at finding them. Everywhere. All the time. 30 seconds of gratitude interrupts that loop. Forces your pattern recognition system to locate evidence of something good. And once it finds it, it gets slightly better at finding it again tomorrow. Brain imaging studies show consistent gratitude practice physically changes gray matter density in areas governing emotional regulation. Not metaphorically, structurally. 30 seconds. Not to ignore what's hard, to make sure your brain doesn't ignore what's good. Habit 10. The happiness anchor. Every morning, do one small thing that makes you genuinely happy, on purpose. Before the day asks anything of you, a song that makes you feel something, one line that sharpens your thinking, a photo that reminds you why you're doing any of this. One thing you actually like about yourself, said out loud or in your head. One intentional moment of joy. This works through emotional priming. Your brain doesn't experience time neutrally. It anchors to the most emotionally significant early input and uses it as a reference point for everything that follows. When the first significant emotional experience of your day is positive and self-generated, that becomes the baseline your brain defends. Every irritation that comes after gets measured against it. Because you set a high floor, more things stay above it. Without this anchor, your mood is entirely reactive. It depends on what the world hands you, which is often nothing worth building a day on. Research on hedonic adaptation consistently shows the emotional baseline isn't fixed. It can be raised deliberately, daily, with small acts of intentional joy. This is one of them. 10 habits. None require extra time. None require equipment. They require one thing, doing them before you decide you don't need to. Your morning is either written by you or written for you. Every day, something runs that first hour. Something sets your emotional tone, primes your nervous system, shapes what feels possible. Right now, for most people, that something is a screen and someone else's urgency. Change what runs first. Change what the rest of the day runs on. Start tomorrow. One habit. The brain doesn't need a revolution. It needs a consistent signal. Send a different one.